Hey everybody. So we're going to start chapter 13 of Crenshaw, the book. We're on chapter 13, so get in your bed, get your snacks, and relax, close your eyes, and just listen. So chapter 13, here we go. Chapter 13 of Crenshaw. I looked at him, he looked at me. I flew into the bathroom, shut the door, and locked it. Meow, he said. It sounded like a question. I did not say meow back. I did not say anything. I closed my eyes and counted to 10. He was still there, and then I opened them. Crenshaw seemed even bigger up close. His white stomach rose from the bubbles like a snowy island. His enormous tail draped over the side of the tub. Do you have any purple jelly beans? He asked. He had thick whiskers that poked out from his face like uncooked spaghetti. No, I said, and more to myself than to him. Aretha scratched at the door. Not now, girl, I said. She whined. Crenshaw wrinkled his nose. I smelled dog. He was holding one of Robin's rubber duckies. He looked at the duck carefully and then rubbed his forehead on it. Cats have scent glands by their ears, and when they rub on something, it's like writing in better letters. This is mine. You are not real. You are an imaginary, I said in my firmest voice. You're not real. Crenshaw made himself a beard out of bubbles. I invented you when I was 7, I said, and that means I can invent you now. Crenshaw didn't seem to be paying attention. If you don't have purple jelly beans, he said, red will do in a pinch. I looked in the mirror. My face was pale and sweaty. I could still see Crutch's reflection. He was making a teeny bubble beard for the rubber duck. You do not exist, I said to the cat in the mirror. I beg to differ, said Crenshaw. Aretha scratched again. Fine, I muttered. I eased open the door and edged to make sure no one was in the hallway listening. Listening to me talk to an imaginary cat, Aretha bubbled through like I had a giant juicy steak waiting in the tub. I looked the door again. Once she was inside, Aretha stood perfectly still on the bath rug, except for her tail. This was fluttering like a windy day flag. I am possibly flummoxed as to why your family felt the need for a dog, said Crenshaw, eyeing her suspiciously. Why not a cat, an animal with some panache, some pizzas, some dignity? Both my parents are allergic to cats, I said. I am talking to my imaginary friend. I invented him when I was 7. He is here in our bathtub. He has a bubble beard. Aretha titled her head. Her ears were on alert. When she sniffed the air, her wet nose quivered. Begone! Foul beast, said Crenshaw. Aretha plopped her big paws on the edge of the tub and gave Crenshaw a heartfelt, slobby kiss. He hissed long and slow. It sounded more like a bike tire losing air than an angry cat. Aretha tried for another kiss. Crenshaw flicked a pawful of bubbles at her. She caught them in her mouth and ate them. I never have seen the point of dogs, said Crenshaw. You're not real, I said again. You always were a stubborn child. Crenshaw unplugged the tub and stood. Bubbles drift. Bathwater swirled, dripping wet. He looked half his size. With his fur slicked down, I could make out the delight bones of his legs. Water rushed past them like a flood around trees. He had excellent posture. I didn't remember Crenshaw towering over me. I got a lot of taller since. I was 7, but he did imaginary friendship actually grow? Towel, please, said Crenshaw. Chapter 14. With trembling fingers, I passed Robin's faded pink Hello Kitty towel to Crenshaw. Thoughts zapped through my brain like summer listening. I can see my imaginary friend. I can hear him. I can talk to him. He is usually using a towel. As Crenshaw climbed out of the tub, he reached for my hand. His paw was warm and soft and wet, big as a lion's with fingers the size of baby carrots. I can feel him. He feels real. He smells like a wet cat. His fingers can't have fingers. Crenshaw attempted to dry himself. Each time he noticed a tuft of hair out of the place. He paused to lick it. His tongue was covered with little prickers, like pink Velcro. Those things on the tongue are called papilla, I said, and then I realized that maybe this wasn't the best time to be sharing nature facts. Crenshaw glanced in the mirror. My, don't I look a fright? And Chara licked his tail helpfully off me. Hound, Crenshaw said. He tossed the towel aside and it landed on Artha. I need more than a towel. I need a good old-fashioned shake. Crenshaw took a deep breath. His body rippled. Water droplets flew like crystal fireworks. When he's finished, his fur was spiky. Arsha tossed off the towel, wagging crazily. Look at that ridiculous tail, Crenshaw said. Humans laugh with their mouths, dogs with their tails. Either way, it makes for pointless mirth. I pulled the towel away from Artha. She snarled it between her teeth to play tug-of-war. What about cats? I asked. Don't you laugh. I'm talking about to a cat. Cat is talking to me. We smirk. Crenshaw said, we sneer. Rarely we are quickly amused. He licked his paw and smoothed a spike of fur near his ear. But we do not laugh. I need to sit down, I said. Where are your parents and Robin? I haven't seen them in ages. Sleeping. I shall go wake them. No, I particularly screamed. I mean, let's go to my room. We need to talk. I'll leap onto your bed and walk in their heads. I will be amusing. No, I said, you will not walk on anyone's head. Crenshaw reached for the doorknob. His paw slipped off when he tried to turn it. Would you mind? He said. I grabbed the knob. Listen, I said. You need to know something. Can everybody see you or just me? Crenshaw chewed on his nails. It was pale and pink, sharp as a new moon silver. I can't say for sure, Jackson. I'm a bit of a practice. Out of patience. Doing what? Practice doing what? Being your friend. He moved to another nail. Only you can see me. But when an imaginary friend is left to his own device, alone and forgotten, who knows? His voice trailed off. He made a pouty face. Fare better than anything Robin could pull off. It's been a long time since you left me behind. Perhaps things have changed. Perhaps the fabric of your universe has unraveled just a tad. Well, what if you're invisible? I can't let you just walk down the hall to my room. What if my dad wakes up and gets a snack? What if Robin has to go to the bathroom? She doesn't have a little box in her room. No, she does have a little box in her room. I pointed to the toilet. Oh yes, it's all coming back to me now. Look, we're going to go to my room, be quiet, and if anybody comes out, just, I don't know, freeze, pretend you're a stuffed animal. Stuffed? He sounded offended. I beg your pardon? Just do what I say. The hallway was dark, except for the bathroom light, spilling onto the carpet like a melted butter. Crenshaw moved silently for a big guy. That's why cats are amazing hunters. I heard a soft crack behind me. Robin stepped out of her bedroom, and I jerked my head to check on Crenshaw. He froze in place. His mouth was open, and his teeth were bared, like one of those dusty dead animals on display at a natural history museum. Jax, said Robin in his slurry voice. Who were you talking to? Arthur, I said. I was talking to Arthur. I hated lying, but it wasn't like I had a choice. Robin yawned. Were you giving her a bath? Yeah. I looked back and forth and back to sister, imaginary friend. Sister, imaginary friend. Arthur ran over and nuzzled Robin's hand. Arthur's was wet. Robin said, I used a hairdryer on her. She hates the hairdryer. Robin kissed the top of Arthur's head. Don't you, baby? Robin didn't seem to see Crenshaw. Maybe because it was pretty dark in the hallway. Or maybe because he was invisible. Or maybe because none of this was really happening. She smells the same, Robin observed, nice and doggy. I glanced at Crenshaw. He rolled his eyes, and oh well, Robin said, yawning. I'm going to bed. Night, Jax. Love you. Night, Robin. I said, love you. As soon as her bedroom door closed, we retreated to my room. Crenshaw leaped onto my mattress as he owned it. When Archer tried to join him, he growled. It wasn't very convincing. I need to understand what's happening. I slumped against the wall. Am I going crazy? Crenshaw's tail rose and fell, making lazy SS in the air. No, you most certainly are not. He licked a paw. By the way, the risk of repeating myself was about those purple jelly beans. When I didn't answer, he settled into a donut shape, tail wrapped around him, and closed his eyes. He purred the way my dad snores, like a motorboat with engine problems. I stared at him in a huge damp bubble bath taking cat. There's always a logical explanation, I told myself, and a part of me, the scientist part of me, really wanted to figure out what was going on. Still, a much bigger part of me felt certain that I needed his hallucination, his dream, this thing, to disappear. Later, when Crenshaw was safely out of my house, not to mention my brain, I could think about what all this meant. A soft knock on my door told me Robin was back. She always knocks at the beginning of wheels on the bus. Tap, 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 tap. Jackson, please go to sleep. Robin, I can't sleep. I missed my trash can. The trash can. Dad took my trash can to sell at the yard sale. I'm pretty sure that was a mistake, Robin, I said. Nobody wants to buy the trash can. It had blue bunnies on it. Well, get it out of the garage in the morning. Arthur made a move to sniff Crenshaw's tail. He hissed. I put my finger to my lips to sush him, but Robin didn't seem to hear anything. Night, Robin, I said. See you in the morning, Jackson. I rubbed my eyes and groaned, the way I've seen my parents do more than once. Now what? Do you think I can get another bed someday? Sure, of course. Maybe even one with blue bunnies, Jackson says. My room is scary without my stuff in it. Could you come read me, Lyle? I took long, slow breath. Sure, I'll be right there, Robin sniffled. I'll just wait right here by your door, okay? Okay. I shot a glance at Crenshaw. Just give me a second, Robin. There's something I really need to do. Chapter 16. I went to my window and opened it. Carefully, I pulled out the screen. Our apartment was on the ground floor, a few feet behind the window. A cushion of grass waited. Goodbye, Crenshaw, I said. He opened one eye a bit like someone picking from his high shade. But what was having such a lovely time? Now, I said, I put my hands on my hips to show I meant business. Jackson, be reasonable. I come all this way. You have to go back to wherever you came from. Crenshaw opened his other eye. But you need me here. I don't need you. I have enough to deal with already. With a great show of effort, Crenshaw sat up. He scratched, easing his back onto an open side down. I don't think you understand what's going on here, Jackson, he said. Imaginary friends don't come out their own volition. We are invited. We stay as long as we need it. And then and only then, we do leave. Well, I sure didn't invite you. Crenshaw sent me a doubtful look. His long, whiskery brows moved like strings on a minaret. I took a step closer. If you want me to go, I'll make you go. If you don't go, I'll make you go. I put my arms around his waist and yanked. It was like hugging a lion. The cat weighed a ton. Crenshaw dug his claws deep into the quilt. My great aunt Charity made them. I was a baby. I gave up, let go. Look, Crenshaw said as he extracted his claws from my quilt. I can't go until I help you. I don't make the rules. Then who does? Crenshaw stared at me with eyes like green marbles. He put his two front paws on my shoulders. He smelled like a soapsuds of catnip in the ocean of night. You do, Jackson, he said. You make the rules. I foreign bleated in the distance. I pointed to the windowsill. I don't need anyone's help. And I sure don't need an imaginary friend. I'm not a little kid anymore. Balderdash, is this because I hiss at the dog? No. Could we at least wait till morning? There's a chill in the air, and I took a bubble bath. No. Tap, tap, tap. Jax, it's lonely in this hallway. Coming, Robin, I called out of the corner of my eye. I noticed a frog hop into the window sill. He gave a teeny nervous croak. We have a visitor, I said, pointing. Maybe if I distracted Crenshaw, he'll move on. Did you know some frogs can leap so far it'd be like a human jumping the length of a football field? They're amazing jumpers. There's amazing bedtime snacks too, murmured Crenshaw. Come to think of it, I wouldn't mind a little embellished morsel. I could see he was in full predator mode. His eyes turned dark like pool. His rear wiggled. His tail switched. See you, Crenshaw, I said. Fine, Jackson, he whispered, eyes lasering in on the frog. You win. I'll leave. Do a bit of hunting. I am, after all, a creature of the night. Meantime, you get to work. I crossed my arms over my chest. On what exactly? The facts. You need to tell the truth, my friend. The frog twitched and Crenshaw froze. Pure muscle and instinct. Which facts? Tell the truth of who? Crenshaw put his gaze on the frog. He looked at me, and to my surprise, I saw tenderness in his eyes. To the person who matters most of all. The frog jumped off the sill, back into the night. In one magnificent leap, Crenshaw followed. When I ran to the window, all I saw was a blur of black and white, streaking through the moon-tipped grass. I felt like I've taken off any itchy sweater on a cold day. Realized to be rid of it, but surprised by how chilly the air turned out to be. That's it. We're on chapter 17. And I hope you're sleeping nice and good tonight and have good dreams. Have a good night.